I hydroplaned Betty into a telephone pole. It's true. Basically, I turned the corner, the back wheels, just like before, but it was much worse in the wet slush. The back wheels started to drive themselves. I couldn't stop it. It was terrifying. I mean, I couldn't control it at all. It's really scary going from like happy driving, normal, fun music time, like woo, music in the car, and then all of a sudden, holy shit, I'm hydroplaning. I don't know what the fuck to do because I couldn't do anything. It was like there's nothing I could do. It was like my life flashed before my eyes, and that sudden realization that I'm just an 18-year-old human driving this like massive death machine. I mean, it also gets you from point A to point B. It's a transport vehicle. But it's also so easy for you to just lose control any moment or someone else lose control. It's terrifying. If anyone has ever experienced a car accident, I'm sorry. It is quite traumatizing. I was a lucky dumbass, you know? I can't believe how lucky I got. Like, it could have been so much worse. My tires, they were also completely fucked up, like bald, because, well, I was drifting constantly and they hadn't been changed. So that was pretty not helpful also in the slushy snow. So I hydroplaned it and I was skidding. It did that little jump thing where I was like, oh, and then it jumped when I tried to correct it, it just wouldn't. It was like, hell no, I'm fucking massive 1.5 ton hunk of metal and I'm going and you can't stop me. And so I didn't. It stopped itself against a telephone pole, but it was a passenger side swipe into the door. My friend's head went through the passenger side window, shattered it, but I didn't even notice, honestly. It almost like it was shock, you know how shock works? And you're like, this is normal. Everything's fine. The airbags didn't deploy because I guess it wasn't on a head on. I don't know. I feel like they should have gone out if my friend's head went through the side window. I don't know if that would have helped though. Yeah, the crash happened. And there's that like moment of just like silence after. Like your music's on, engine's on, then all of a sudden the engine's off, the music's off. All you hear is like this hissing sound. It could have been slush from the ground in my engine. I could smell like burnt rubber, tire smell on the road. Which is like, damn, I must have like really skidded there because it was wet out and I could smell burning rubber. Could have been something inside the car too. But my silly little goose butt, I was like, this is fine. I'm pretty sure I can work with this. I thought it was on still. I don't know what I thought actually. But I tried to turn the wheel and go. The car did kind of turn. It kind of went like a whoop. The car was not able to drive. I was fucking freaked out. My friend and his friend were like, what the fuck? Blah. And then you know what they did? They ran away. They left. The one guy left his fucking Fireball whiskey in the back of the car too. I was like, okay, bye. Wait, what? Whatever. Fucking assholes. I mean, like, I probably would have stayed with me. I wouldn't have just left somebody. They were probably scared. I'm sure they were. I'm not going to deny that. But they didn't even think about, like, how scared I could have possibly been. My friend's head went through the window. He probably had a concussion. He probably wasn't thinking right. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But to be honest, he was a fucking idiot. Actually, I have a story about him. Really quick, I just want to add in. He told me one time, he's like, my idol. He had an idol, right? Like a actor that he loved a lot. Thought was super cool. He's talking about like, yeah, I wish I could have the swagger like Neil Patrick Harris has. I want to be just like him. I bet you he has so many girlfriends. I'm like, why would he have girlfriends? He's like, because, of his character on How I Met Your Mother. He said something like that. But I'm like, Neil Patrick Harris? Like, Neil Patrick Harris. Are you being serious right now? I'm sorry to burst your bubble there, bud, but he has a fucking husband. He's like, what? Yeah, like Neil Patrick Harris is gay. Like, he likes men. That's a character he plays on TV. He's a good actor. He's like, what? You just ruined my fucking world. I'm like, bro. People act on TV. They're not like God. I was like, look it up. Like, literally just Google it, man. He has a husband. I'm pretty sure I just seen a picture of him and his kids with his husband. You've never actually, if he was your idol, you should have known a bit more about him. But no, he was a dumbass. Anyways, where was I at? Right. My friend ran away. What a fucking asshole. Yeah, I knew I fucked it up, but I still tried to like drive away, right? I was literally trying to turn the car and go onto the road again. And then this man, who was either a neighbor or just like a witness, he was on it though. He yelled at me as I was trying to leave. He's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" He's like, "Hey, I'm on the phone to the police. They're on the way." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, I don't know. I was like, I'm so shocked. My stereo, my aftermarket stereo, popped out of the dashboard. It was like hanging by something. Like there was something hanging out of the dashboard, like wiring. And it was just like hanging there. And I was looking at it like, that's going to cost a lot to fix. I wasn't even thinking like, yeah, no, this car's totaled. You've ruined it. I was just like, oh, my dad's going to be really mad at me for that one. Well, yeah, I'm mad at you now in the future, girl. Like, come on. What a little dum-dum. Yeah, that was pretty sad. So I had the new soft top though. Like, I just got it too. And the roll bar, like the thing that pops up to save your head from going onto the pavement, I guess, if you roll over, that pops up. I didn't roll over, thankfully. But that popped up and it stretched the plastic window on the new soft top. So we couldn't even like resell it or give it back. Which is dumb. I mean, I guess like rather safe than sorry. Yeah, the car was too fucked to drive and I didn't even realize what was going on right away. I got out of the car though and I was like, uh-oh. Oh fuck. But like, yeah, I guess the witness dude was like kind of mad and then he realized like, oh, were those your friends and did they just run away? I'm like, they ran away. Yep. And like, that's not very nice of them. I'm like, I know. But I'm like in tears as I'm talking. And this man, I remember he hands me his iPhone 4. Because I was like, I had an iPhone 3G, right? And I was like so obsessed with Apple back then. And I was in such shock at the time. I'm just not really paying attention to like the fact that I was just in a car accident. I'm like, oh, this man has an iPhone 4. I get to use it. He's like, talk to the police dispatch. They want to know what's going on. And they're like, hi, can you tell us what your license plate is? Out of nowhere, I knew it. I'm like, 228 LDP. I didn't even think I looked at it once before that. Clearly, I had remembered it somehow. Adrenaline was doing its job. It's like magic. Now you know everything. Now you're super strong and smart all of a sudden. But it won't last for long, so use it. Yeah, but then I started crying, and then they're like, do you need an ambulance? I'm like, now for my heart. They're like, are you needing an ambulance? I'm like, no, I'm just heartbroken. They're like, okay, we can't give you an ambulance for that. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, I was looking at the side of the car and the telephone pole was like a part of the car now. The car was a part of the telephone pole. They were one with each other. When two become one. Yeah, it was pretty sad. Like there's green paint on the telephone pole that was now in the white paint of Betty White. And okay, here's the weird, wild part. Remember how I told you earlier I got that new job? And I did mention briefly that the same night was the Christmas party for that new job. And I left the Christmas party early to go get my friend or whatever I decided to do. That's the same night. The cop arrives. I was crying. I was like, my car is gone. And he's like, at least you're not gone. He's right. It was a lesson that I learned, a big one. So the cop reads me out the little like blurb thing they say before they give you the breathalyzer. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm actually about to do a breathalyzer, especially because of the job I just got where I was the one processing people doing this exact thing. Like I said, the universe was on my side. The timing was too perfect because this weekend, and this weekend only, back in 2010, they recalled all of the breathalyzer devices, like the physical machines. They recalled them all to do recalibration on them because lawyers and people were just like realizing that whatever someone would actually blow into the device wasn't exactly accurate. So they had to recalibrate it because like people were saying that's not fair. Like that would give someone in the position like who wasn't actually as drunk or tipsy as the machine was saying that they were, like an unfair disadvantage over like some like being charged for drinking and driving when they actually weren't as drunk as this machine was saying. The breathalyzers were recalled to do recalibration. Like that's some fucking perfect timing for me. Silly. This is the same weekend that I decided to act on some fucking it was only 2 glasses of wine, and wine is strong, okay? I was 19. I didn't blow too high in the breathalyzer. I'll tell you how much I blew. And to gauge how much, like it was just like, I think the average driving limit around the world is, I'm not sure actually what it is now, to be honest. I know there's like a threshold of like blood alcohol content being 0.05 to 0.08 being the absolute limit, and the highest you can blow without basically having your license taken away, having your car taken away for a certain amount of time, and then like you can't get your license back and you cannot drive unless you go to take like a few courses. Even you have to complete this course and not fail it, and then have an ignition interlock like installed into your vehicles. And like for someone who is like not a heavy drinker or didn't drink that often and they just made a mistake, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. Like, God damn it, like one fucking night I made a mistake and now I have to fucking blow into this thing every time I turn a car on. And I don't know how long you'd have to keep it in there. Yeah, I mean, it would be dangerous if you're driving and it would shut off the car. I don't think that's actually what happens. Sometimes I just say things that come out of my mouth because I'm thinking them and I feel like it's true. And then I think about it and I'm like, wait, no. But yeah, if you've ever like, well, I don't know if it's like the same thing all over the world, but I know where I'm from. If you're ever like driving and or just around vehicles that are driving and one is driving while its car alarm's going off, chances are that person needs to blow into their ignition interlock and they aren't doing it. So their car is like yelling at them, basically like, you're going to have to do this. Or I think it's like something like it locks everything up once you stop the car like safely, or like you know, I don't know, actually. I remember learning about it when I worked there. But like I said, I mean, like the job was 16 damn years ago. I only have so much space in my brain. Loud cars going by. All right, there we go. And I was at the juicy part. I blew, I'm pretty sure I was like just under the 0.05 threshold. I'm pretty sure it was like, I can't say for sure, but I'm guessing a high here. I think it was like 0.048. It wasn't quite 5, which is the limit for getting it's called like a warn instead of a fail, because the 0.08 would be the fail. That would be like, you need to get the interlock device in your car. And it would be embarrassing as a 19-year-old. I'd be like, sorry, I have to do this. But I wasn't close to that one, thankfully. But as a new driver, I had a new driver's license, I think I would have had to go through a few courses in order for me to get my license back. But because of my divine timing, I decided to do it on the Christmas party night. And that was when they took the devices out to get I'm thinking about that. I'm like, well, if they're being all recalibrated, then what was I blowing into? Because I blew into a normal breathalyzer device. I guess they had to have some still in rotation, and they didn't recalibrate them. So they took the specific penalty away. So instead of having my car impounded for 3 days, I think that's what it was. Instead of having my license taken away for 3 days, but because I was a new driver, it would have been longer. I wouldn't be able to get it back after 3 days. I only had it taken away for 24 hours. My car wouldn't have been impounded if it wasn't fucked up. But because I crashed it into a telephone pole, it was obviously taken to the tow lot, and I couldn't drive it for obvious reasons. Very upsetting for me, but it's a lesson I had to learn, clearly. But this is where I think into my head, when I was that age and I was thinking, what if they didn't recalibrate the things at that time? It would be so freaking embarrassing. New job, new coworkers. If that did happen and I had my name on one of those tickets that the police officer filled out, it would have been faxed through to the same fax machine that I would walk into on Monday morning. There were physical pieces of paper. There were obviously photocopies, because that's how fax machines work. And I'd be like, I'm going in first thing and I'm grabbing all those pages and I'm going through each one before any of my coworkers get in. Or I would have been like, okay, so boss, I need to talk to you. And then I would have been like, I'm embarrassed, but this is what happened. I probably would have, I would have to be very honest, because it would look even worse if I lied about it. I'm sure my boss would have been like, I'm glad you told me. And then they probably would have processed my file. Because imagine if I did it. That's kind of, I think that's not cool. And not tell anyone. I'm just I'm going to just do this and nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. Because I think, they would have found out with doing looking over spreadsheets later, and they're like, weird. Did Megan put her own name in by accident? And then look at it harder and be like, oh, damn, girl, that's embarrassing. What the fuck? You left the Christmas party early to crash your car drunk into a telephone pole? That's fucking weird. What? Honestly, I probably would have gone up to my boss and been like, I'm resigning. I'm stepping down. I'm gonna leave this one to you guys. I'm out. Bye. No. But because of the recalibration, I didn't have to worry about any of that. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't worry about it after Monday. Honestly, I think the 24-hour ticket came through straight to the insurance place that kind of, it's not the same as what I was doing, but I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's weird rules and laws that I don't even understand still. But none of the shit with my name on it came through to my office, and nobody knew any different. And I just went on my merry way. But sad. Didn't have a car. But, I had my life still. I had a little interview with the insurance company. And they were like, yo, so tell us the truth. Tell us what happened. And I was totally honest, and I'm like, it's slushy out. My car does this weird wiggly thing with the back wheels. Like, it's so weird. I don't know how that happens, but this slushy wetness on the road kind of caused me to, I guess, slip. Like the wheels went a little like slippy. I almost spun out and I guess it was hydroplaning. That's what they called it. It was just like sliding on this like little thin layer of water, and the car couldn't, steer because I had bald tires from drifting across fucking the road. My tires were bald because I drifted. I mean, I don't know if those tires had been changed since I bought the car. Whatever, tires should have those little like hairs on them. And actually, where I'm at in the world, it's like a law for you to have to wear winter tires during the winter months, I guess. But I'm not sure if that law was in place at that time, because my insurance company decided like, I see that you had 0.048 blood alcohol content, but they didn't think that mattered, which is shocking to me. I was like, wait, what? You said that it doesn't matter? What? And they're like, like if you had been drinking or not, we think this accident would have happened either way. Because I was driving maybe a little bit too fast, and that's why the car slipped the way it did. But I also think that if I was driving completely sober, the accident still would have happened, because I didn't feel drunk or tipsy when I was driving. Although that is beside the point here. It's like kind of a known fact that I drove like a maniac back then, and it's true. I think it would have happened if I was drunk or completely sober. And so they gave me $5,000 back for Betty, which really blew me away. I was expecting to not get anything back, or if I was getting something back, it wasn't going to be that much. That's like half the price of the car, which I feel like is great. Like, that was amazing for me. I was like ecstatic at I'm putting that right towards the new car, like nothing else. I don't even give a shit. Like, that's going to my car, man. And what a car it went to. $5,000 went to Chad. The Chad. Or the Cadillac, if you're feeling fancy. And I was feeling fancy. I'm like, yeah, we're going to step away from the convertible white car. Okay, we're going to go into this murdered out black on black Cadillac. Like, what? What the fuck was I thinking? I don't know, man. Funny though. I was like, just this like 5'4" girl, 20 years old. I'm gonna buy a drug dealer car. A Cadillac. Like, what the fuck? Betty sacrificed her life for me. And even though my friend's head went through the side of the window, I'm glad everyone had their seatbelt on. I'm glad nobody got seriously injured. Although Betty did. She saved us. The universe gave me that one. I'm a lot more cautious now because I don't know if it'll ever give me another chance, But that's it. Rest in peace, Betty. And I'm sorry. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed my story. I have a lot of content coming up. So much. It's insane. So stay tuned in so we can tune up together. Tune up, then tune in to the Mystic Moon Fort. Does that work? Do you like that, or is it dumb? I mean, everything I do is kind of silly, but that's what you get when you live in the silly goose territory. Okay, we're done. Thank you. Peace out. Bye.